Hey, it's Cornfu. This week we're going to slow things down. This is actually week 2 of Inktober. I'm going to take one drawing, it's already been penciled out, and I'm going to ink it all the way through. Real time, no speedy, fast stuff, no time lapse. I'm going to use Microns, brush pen, things of that nature. Hopefully you can get a general sense of how I work. You'll see my process, get a sense of how I do what I do and how long it takes me roughly, and hopefully it's entertaining for you. Once these are all complete, all 31, I'm going to mash those together into one cohesive poster. It's going to be underwater themed, ocean themed. The prompt list kind of led me that way. It wasn't pre-planned or anything like that. I probably should have in hindsight because I know Jake Parker released the list early. So now I'm trying to scramble to try to make them all fit into this underwater scene. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a little bit of a challenge. So we'll see how it turns out. Let's go and do this. Normally I just kind of start out getting the baselines. I got some mediocre sketches here. So far with all the word prompts, I've been drawing kind of more or less characters. And by now you kind of guessed it's an underwater scene. So now I kind of need to start focusing on maybe some of the environment. So today's prompt is teeth. So I thought, how can I make teeth work into the environment? So here we go. Yeah, drawing rocks is pretty fun because there's kind of no right or wrong. You just kind of get some blocky shapes in there. Actually, make that black. It's a cheap Pentel brush pen. These things are great. Actually, let's go a little darker. The only problem with them, though, at least with this sketchbook, is it's not the most expensive sketchbook. Because it's a sketchbook, but tends to leak through the paper. So a way around that is just to not go super dark with it, and then come back, you know, once I scan into Photoshop, just go in and darken it up there, push the levels or manually fill it in. Or put a piece of paper on the other side and just don't care about it, just let it soak through. I was using Sharpies a few years back, and besides the head rush from the fumes, just the, and they're pricey now for whatever reason, they would instantly soak through. But I mean, they're great for like rapid cover. Like these things, the brush pens get a little expensive if you go through the cartridges too much. You come back and define that a little bit better. Now, when I'm finished, the last part of this, not on this video, but my next video, will be kind of putting these suckers all together. And I'll take them into Photoshop and I'll start to move them around and size them, scale them to make them fit this whatever storyline I'm going to come up with. And then I'll probably do, so think about it, I'll probably do like a blue tint to all the tint. I said tint. Let's go camping, kids. I'll do a blue tint to the lines, and then, you know, just get that underwater feel. I don't know how like detailed I'm going to go with the painting. Depends on how much time I have. When you're doing a video and Inktober, it's kind of like, gonna quickly run out of time. It's probably, wait, that one's almost dead. I go through these things way too fast. I usually save the 005s for little teeny, like little shady shades, little teeny details, bigger lines. Like if I use a 5 a lot now. I used to not. But it's a great way to get texture really quick without going over and over and over it. Now, back in the day, I used to use the rapidographs, but I'd end up really scoring the paper with them. I guess it was just kind of too heavy-handed. or the ink would make the paper soft, and then you're just like scratching a hole in the paper. Kind of don't want to do that, at least I don't. Okay. And a creepy clicking sound. I'm in a garage again, my quote-unquote office, quote-unquote studio, and that is the water heater. It gets heated up and then it expands and makes all kinds of crazy noises. I don't really know what I was doing here. I think those are rocks. I don't know. I don't have to get crazy with the detail because it's all, there's going to be so many pieces in here. Sometimes I'll go on the outside just to get a little thicker, just to kind of pull it and separate it out. Honestly, I'm making a lot of this crap up as I go. Okay. Getting there. Get the base shapes. I got some bubbles coming up here too. Like I said, yeah, rocks. No real rules. Okay, start defining what this is. So today's word was, or today's prompt word was tooth. So I figured I'd have a cave with something wicked inside with giant monster teeth. Then I'll screw them up. This is one of those things too, if you're using color, you can help define actually what it is. Give her a nice little yellow tint or whatever. Speaking of teeth, I went to the dentist yesterday. Mouth still hurts. Somehow they know when you don't floss. Probably should have made these a little bit more jagged, but I got that giant fish. It's got the monster teeth. Yeah, that'll work. Now some of this stuff I might go back in after it's all matched together into a poster layout and then use coloring to shade some of this versus hatch work. All right. One of my coworkers, John Ray, amazing illustrator. He uses real energetic lines. It's a really cool style. Just I'm not that confident enough to throw down some crazy energy lines. I love them though. I think that look is really cool. Definitely ownable. Plus, you probably don't spend 16 hours cross hatching like I tend to do. All right. Speaking of which. All right, I got some rocks in here, so what I would normally do is just come in and start, just kind of laying in the shading. Now this is the bottom of the ocean, so my light's coming down, so I can kind of just make, like I'll probably use a white ink pen right there, because there's supposed to be bubbles here. I forgot to put them in. It's all good. Now, if I listen to Spencer Nugent, I would spend every morning drawing circles and get better at drawing circles. But now I'll just do these lopsided things. Technically, bubbles do that. They kind of wibble and wobble. Wibble? Is that a word? Is now. Okay. Yeah. Go in here. Now, I have to watch out, trying not to make this look like a grassy texture. So I'll lay the lines down, then I'll probably come and just do this. Kind of go slightly at an angle. Just kind of, Buddy Will, he would call it whip shading. You just kind of put your pen down and flick it. You know, some tattoo artists do that with their guns. Whip shading. I think that's what it's called. I have no idea what I'm talking about. All right. Some sloppy lines down in there. Okay. Now, if I was doing body parts, I tend to do the lines along the contour of the body. With rocks, I'm just kind of picking out just some of the corners and the angles, not necessarily following the contour. Okay. Let's see. Let's get this sucker going. Little fish dude. Okay. I'm shooting at a different angle this time too, because I think it's kind of lame to sit and look top down. All you see is the top of my hand as I'm drawing. I kind of like to see when the pen hits the paper. I'm assuming that this is a good angle. I don't know. I have no way to verify it. Okay. Do I want to go crazy with the fins? Or with the scales? I don't know. Normally I like to do that, but this sucker's so small. The risk I'll run into is if I start putting all these little scales in there, it might start looking like a really heavy shading. And I kind of want the fish not to be the focal point. So, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to throw down a couple. I'm going to use the 005. This sucker. Nope, not that. That's the 8. There it is. Is real thin. Just a couple. I don't want to go too nuts with it. All right. What kind of fish is that? I have no idea. I don't know. I might come back and put a little bit more detail into that. I don't know. Now, one of the issues I'm going to have, one of the problems that I'm definitely going to run into is when I put all these pieces together, like this will be a fairly big size because it'll be at the bottom of the poster. I might add some more landscape. I don't know. But there's other creatures like the rodent. It was day 5, I think. Or no, that was today. Day 6. Wait, no, that was yesterday. Today's day 7. No, wait. What is today? Day 8. I don't even know what day it is. Yeah. Kind of all messed up. But anyway, I'm going to... What was I rambling about? I don't even know. Yeah, so when I put these together, some of them... I kind of take up the whole page to draw or half a page to draw one illustration. But in the scene, one of the illustrations might be like super small. So what will happen is I'll reduce the size of it in Photoshop, and then these little teeny thin lines will disappear. They'll be so small. So I'll have to go back in digitally and kind of paint some stuff back in. Or, you know, depending on how bad it looks. I hate to have like super different line weights because I feel like that looks amateurish. Doesn't look... I like it to be consistent. I like it to all have the same kind of line size. Line weight, I should say. Yeah. I should have made this a timed event because then I'm like, in a hurry, and I'm not taking my time and going super slow. Just kind of banging it out. I mean, this is not like a full-on, the best illustration I've ever done. This This is a means to an end. I don't hear the cricket. Every video I've done, this stupid cricket's been going crazy. That just means some freaky monster spider got it. So now there's probably a giant spider in here somewhere, drinking its liquefied insides. Ugh. Okay. Back with the 5. I really should have some wispy stuff in here too. Seagrass or whatever. I would love to be playing music in the background, but well, I don't want to get sued or banned for illegally using somebody's music on YouTube. I mean, I might throw some stuff in there post, but we're getting there. This is one of those things that just takes, you know, an hour of just layering lines just to get the shading and the dimensionality of it. All right. Back to the number 2. This one's starting to run dry, so I keep a rubber band around the ones that are new, so I haven't used them, because what'll happen is you get them all mixed up and then you don't know which one's the freshest. So I keep that over there, and then I just use these till they're dead. Chuck them, pull another one out. So, I know it's a dump system, but it works for me. I was working a lot of hours recently, and it was having an effect on me to the sense of I went to do something ink-wise, and I thought about Control-Z. I was like, good Lord, this is a sketchbook. There is no Control-Z. So I'm either losing it, or I was just, you know, I need to get more sleep and get off the computer. And here I'm going back and forth, just a slight different angle. Another technique too that you can do is, you know, lay down, like, I'll show you. So I will use that one. 005. So you can come in here and you can, let's see, let's go here. You can do this real light 005. Now with this one, you have to be careful. Like I said, I'm heavy-handed. You have to try not to push down because you'll kill the tip on this one. And these things are too expensive to just, you know, pound into the sketchbook. So I kind of lay down like a light one like that. Then I come back and get the 2. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Leave a comment below if you did or you didn't. I'm always open for recommendations. Thank you for hanging out with me while I drew. See you again next week. Hey, hey, it's Cornfu. Hey, it's Cornfu. Hey, it's Cornfu. Hey, it's Cornfu. Hey, it's Cornfu.
Yeah. Hey, it's Cornfu.
Hey, it's Cornfu.